Yes. Yeah. Let's just take a
Deep
what's it
dive.
called when when you take a dive and you land on your stomach?
Oh my god. Yes, magplask in Swedish.
Yeah, stomach splash, we
Yeah.
call it in Swedish.
Yeah, and you're like, where the fuck are my intestines?
Yeah, exactly. It feels like your body is exploding.
Yeah.
Let's do one of those today.
Oh my god, now people are gonna think that this is something that you and I do a lot. When you take a swim.
Yeah. When you go to swim in the ocean, or
Yeah.
you bathe in a pool, and you really aim for that, like landing
Yeah.
on your stomach, and
You just want to,
always do that.
yeah, you just
Classic
want,
us.
yeah, just going into the water as fast as possible.
Yeah,
Yeah.
stomach first.
That
Yeah,
is so typical of you and me, I think.
yeah. As opposed to like very gracious mermaids doing one of those like
Yes.
swan
Yeah.
dives. No, wait.
Yeah, it's just a straight body falling into water.
Right in.
Oh my god. Yeah, that's, oh,
Oh,
and the makeup is gone. Nice.
yeah.
1 minute in. Oh, how do you do it?
Oh, but speaking of
Yeah,
body first,
intestines
lunch.
all
Yes,
over.
intestines all over the
Yeah,
place.
it's Scorpio
How is
season.
yeah?
Yeah.
Speaking of that,
Yeah.
how is everything?
Yeah. I mean, you and I know how things are in our lives, but I mean, yeah, it's a crazy season.
It is.
Yeah. And I don't know, when did we do the last recording? Was it like September or?
Yes, I think it was beginning of September.
Yeah, I think so.
Mm.
And
A good
now,
2 months.
yeah, it's been 2 months. I mean, yeah, but I know, yeah, I don't know. Should we talk about October or should we just
Uh,
October didn't
Pretend
happen?
October never happened.
Yeah,
um,
we will just bypass October, I think. No.
yeah, I mean, October really, I feel that October led us to where we are now.
Yeah.
November and eclipse season, and everything that will happen now. So October was, I think, for both of us, very intense month.
Yeah.
Started in one way, ended in another,
Mm.
and got us from September, which I remember was quite calm.
Yeah, yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Mm.
Um, and then to, to October, which was like big changes.
Yeah.
The also I think it was interesting because I know that astrologically
Mm.
October was a little bit difficult because we had it was Libra season, which is all
Yeah.
about like balance, beauty,
Mm.
partnerships.
Partnership.
Yeah,
Mm.
and then we had Mars in Libra as well, and Mars in Libra struggles a little bit with those
Yeah.
themes
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
Mars is much more like
Aggressive
assertive,
fire.
going after
Yeah,
faster.
exactly.
Yes,
Mhm.
so
And Libra
that's
is like striving for
mm,
balance and being very diplomatic in the expression. So
yes.
Mars was like,
Mm. Yes, and I think that both you and I felt the full moon in Aries
mm,
really intensely.
yeah.
And that was also so beautiful to see. Like we had those weeks of like very Libran
Mm,
energies,
mm,
very like balancing the scales, and then it felt like finally it was the full moon in Aries, which was like powering through, a little bit like back to identity, back to initiating something, no matter where it takes you. It's not a result of communicating and compromising, but rather an initiator. And then after that, perhaps we can work together. But that initiating full moon energy was very beautiful, but also very intense.
Yeah. I just I forgot my this.
Oh,
I don't
yeah,
know if the sound is going to be crazy now in the beginning. We will see, I guess. I'm just gonna, sorry guys. I'm just gonna see if I can.
Are we rolling?
We're back now. We're rolling.
Yes.
It's cool. Nothing happened. Everything is under control.
All right.
Yeah. So where were we? Full moon in Aries. Yeah. I mean, it was like going from the mind into the body. And that was very nice. Because it's so much more like a grounded energy, being up in the mind. Like, I mean, Libra is an air sign. At least for me, I think it was quite frustrating, or led to a lot of overthinking and being stuck. I mean, and Mercury was in retrograde as well, so that was also influencing the energies a lot. But I remember it was so magical, that full moon in Aries, because both you and I, when we talked that evening, both you and I felt like, oh my god, like our wombs are fucking boiling. Yeah, it was like it was burning inside of our like sexual centers, like the center of creation, the womb center. Both you and I felt like quite a lot of pain, I think. But like something was going on in those waters.
Yeah, for sure. And it's so beautiful, like the way you said it now, with the Libran airy energy, which is very airy. And it was like we have had all of the tentacles outside of ourselves, like feeling where are others in our surroundings, what do they think, how should we do. So very much like an external energy. And then the full moon was like and deep down, because the moon is also connected to like our inside, and also our very watery wombs and the pelvic area.
And being women, being Cancerians, we are very much connected. Those centers are very much connected to the moon cycles for us. And we felt this one really deep.
It was beautiful. And not every full moon is. I mean, some full moons can really like shine its light on wounds or things that we haven't dealt with yet. And this was like, no, back to your power, back to your creative center. Like it was boiling. And just amazing.
And I think Rewilding for Women with Sabrina Lynn, she talked about this archetype, like warrior and midwife, that was very much active during that full moon. And that is also, I mean, that was exactly what we were feeling in our bodies, like the warrior fire, the grounded strength, but also like the midwife giving birth to something. And that can be like giving birth to a new version of yourself, or a new way of being, or relating to the world around you or to other people. And I think like if this would have happened like 1 or 2 years ago when you and I were not into astrology yet, I think both you and I would have been a little bit scared when we felt that in our wombs, like, oh, what the fuck, something is wrong, it's hurting, what is this? But now I could like, it's just a full moon.
Yeah.
Let me sink deeper into this pain.
Yes, exactly.
And that is so beautiful, like coming home to your body and coming home to the nature and like the energies that are within us but outside of us as well, and just like melting into them.
Yes, yeah. It's really life-changing.
Yeah.
Reaching that state and like feel such deep connection to your body and how it communicates and what happens. It's like you can observe it, and it's almost like you can have a dialogue with it. It's like, okay, what do you want to do? Where are we going? How do you feel? All right, we're going here. All right, let me take all my other parts with me.
Exactly.
And yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah. And now we stand before, or I mean, we are already in the energies of the eclipses that are coming. And I think, at least for me, maybe for both of us, when we started to like talk about the eclipses that's gonna come, I think we were a little bit scared. Because eclipses, they bring, like, they throw up everything in the air, and they bring a lot of like big life changes that maybe wouldn't have been possible like in a regular year, or what you can call it. But with the eclipse energy, it's like suddenly things are like falling into place or falling out of place.
Exactly.
Yeah. So, and you have been studying much more astrology than me now with Oath Oracle. Such a magical woman.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, the layers and layers and layers of astrology that has been not clear to me before, and now is like a complete before and after. Just by learning, by applying to different areas of life, and like the combination of the signs and the houses and the aspects, and you can receive so much clarity, so much clarity. That it's life changing, really.
It is.
Yeah, and just also to understand that the eclipses are not evil or there to
disrupt anything. No.
Exactly. But it's like, here are the things that are still not in alignment or will go no further. So this is an opportunity to kind of eclipse things out of your life and also eclipse things in. And that can, of course, feel very disruptive and sudden, and like a tower moment or multiple tower moments. But I don't think that it serves anyone to go into the season with fear.
No.
Or like grasping something. I think like the best way to do it is with the going stomach first.
Just allowing everything to happen.
Yes, and be like,
intestines to float out in the water.
Yes, and just like super clear with the intention, like what are our strongest intentions, because we know it on a soul level, and we can utilize this this period to allow the energies to help us get there, and kind of
Exactly.
work with them, and not see ourselves as separate from it, and then now it will come a storm that will disrupt, and I will just be here and looking at it and feeling helpless. I mean,
Yeah.
I'd rather like, okay, take their hand and be like, okay, I think that we should go here and here and here. This is my intention. What can we do about this? And yeah, perhaps that is very easy to say now.
I guess we
before,
will
like,
see. This is before
we'll see.
eclipse. The
Yeah, this is
eclipses. Then in like January, we will be sitting here like
yeah
15 kilos thinner.
yes, like dark under our eyes,
No sleep.
no sleep.
It's okay.
What the fuck happened?
Yeah, everything is burning down to the ground, but I'm fine.
Yes,
Okay.
it's okay.
But also like something that you and I have learned a lot during this year is that when things fall apart or fall away, or you feel a loss or in some kind of way, it's always to take you further, or always to take you closer to what's meant for you. So if something falls away, or something is being very like yeah, like a tower moment, something just a lightning bolt just crashes down into your reality in some place of your life, and things feel very chaotic. It's in the chaos, or in that chaotic energy, that things can like start to fall down again in like the right places. The things that are not aligned with you anymore will fall away. And I think also, like, you and I have been doing so much inner work and inner like healing this year, which also means that we have changed our own frequencies so much this year, like going from here to like in such a short period of time. So now that this season comes with the eclipses, there are so many things, I think, in our lives that are not in alignment with us anymore, because you and I have changed so much. So it's only like, natural for us to have like kind of a chaotic season now, because there are many things that has to like fall away from us or around us. And things that are also coming in towards us that are in alignment with our new energy or our new frequency. And just like, embracing that, and just take care of yourself and your body to be prepared to receive that, and also to be prepared to stand in like the fire when everything is burning down to the ground. If you can just stand there knowing your worth, just like feeling safe in your body, I think, and just being open to what will come. I think that is the key to like surviving eclipse season for people like you and me that has been doing a lot of healing this year.
For sure.
Yeah.
And the one thing that will never leave you is like the connection inside. It's like all of the chakras, your womb and your cervix and your heart and your solar plexus and your truth and your intention and where you are going. That can never leave you unless you actively choose to leave it. Like it will never leave you. So whatever happens on the surface, like whatever things are falling away because you have changed your frequency and you have manifested like new realities,
new timelines.
New timelines, new realities, new everything. Just like receiving that, like fully embodied, you know who you are. You have all of your all of your inside is intact, and it's
Yeah.
always there.
Yeah.
And so you can never be lonely, you can never be unsupported, you can never be out of your track if you do that. And yeah, I think that is key to navigating potential changes during eclipse season.
Yeah. Yeah. And that is like one thing that we can be 100% sure of, is that life is ever changing. Nothing ever stays the same. Everything is changing all the time. And like learning to be with that, I think, is a big lesson, at least for me, because I think that I've always been like very much afraid of change, because it's been like very much safe for me to feel in control. So when things are changing around you and you feel like you don't have control, it's very scary. But like going from a fear-based way of looking at things into like everything is changing and that is fine and I am safe in that change. And just something that just hit me now when we were talking about eclipses, something that you have I've learned from you is that universe and the planets and the energies, it's not just something that happens like outside of us that are that are influencing us, but we have it inside of us. We have it, the entire universe and all of these energies inside of us. So I mean, now going into eclipse season, I mean, we are fucking eclipses. Like our energy is like shifting into eclipse energy. It's like I'm gonna do big fucking changes in my life now, on like a subconscious level. I think we are being given that energy inside of us, not just something that's like coming from the outside, throwing in lightning bolts. Like we are being given this, the strength of the eclipses, like from inside of us as well, to start to take like inspired actions, or to rethink things in your life.
Isn't that so extremely empowering?
Yeah, we are the fucking eclipses.
Yes, we are
Everyone
the eclipses. And just like knowing that we are fully active in the eclipses, we are fully participating. And like those, whenever we feel like there was a tower moment outside of us, perhaps that was like something inside of us that suddenly said, I'm not gonna do this anymore. And we didn't hear it because it was not the mind thinking that. It was something in our energy. Yes, that was just like, no more. And suddenly that theme couldn't function. It couldn't stay because we didn't respond to it anymore.
Exactly.
As bodies.
Yeah.
As
with our energy wasn't like vibrating with that kind of reality anymore. So the reality had to change.
Yes. And yeah, that approach is so deeply empowering. So deeply empowering. And like, if you haven't considered yourself magical before, there's like no way you can't do that now, because we have, I don't even know how to put it, but it's like the power that we have inside of us is so immense.
Yeah, like we are our own universes. You are an entire universe. I am an entire universe. Everyone is. And I mean, we are God. We are creation. We are creative beings. And every time something happens that you have like put your heart and mind and soul to change or to manifest, I mean, you get like blown away because you are being reminded of your own power when things happen, and they can happen so fast. And everything starts with you. It starts from the inside, and it's always like grounded in some kind of subconscious belief of who you are, what you are worthy of, and what your life looks like. So that story that you keep on telling yourself is what will be created around you. And it sounds so easy when people are talking about like law of attraction and like just change the story. Yeah. But we are, and I think something that you and I have been talking about as well is like we are also full of like limiting beliefs, traumas, old wounds that are like blocking us from being these creators and fully receiving the magic. And we also, it's not only like the traumas or conditionings from our own lives that we are carrying, it's also like generations and generations of like really, 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 really ingrown patterns of being, or like what, yeah, like beliefs of what you are worthy of that runs in your family, or traumas that has happened to someone in your family, or probably like everyone in some different way back. You are carrying that in your body. And that will reflect on how you are like living your life or receiving life, what you are capable of receiving, I think. So that is also like a huge part of starting to be your own creator, to start to like release yourself and release your whole fucking lineage from those limiting beliefs or those traumas that are like in the way. Yeah. You know what I'm talking about.
Yes.
It's hard to find the
Yeah.
words here in English.
Yeah.
And you and I, if nobody knows, you and I are cousins, and our mothers are identical twins. So they come from like the same egg. So you and I, we share very much like the same generational beliefs or like
Yes.
systems or patterns.
Mm.
And we are here.
Yes, and we share like our grandmother's pregnancy in a way.
Yeah.
You and I are part of the same pregnancy in which that egg became our two mothers.
Yeah.
And like that period, and also like generations back when these eggs were first created, and like the environment in which they have been, the thoughts that have been thought in the environment, in the body, the shocks to the nervous systems, the love, the everything that has been around is something that has created like memories and
like an energetic blueprint or imprint in the
that has,
DNA.
of course, that we carry. And it's so interesting to work with the concept of like breaking some of these patterns and do that not only for yourself but like your future lineage. your children and their children and their children, and like being the one who says, okay, but I notice this pattern in myself. I notice that some things are I naturally consider them not for me. I was born that way. I don't know where it came from.
Yeah.
But it ends with me because I want my future lineage to be completely open to receiving all of it.
Yeah.
And that also puts like such a different perspective on this journey. And I think that a lot of people struggle with doing things merely for themselves.
Yeah.
Because I think that we are naturally we are how can I say, we're not satisfied by merely thinking about ourselves.
No.
But seeing that by doing it, we will help not only ourselves, but like everyone in our environments.
Yeah.
And that creates such a shift where it's like, oh, but then I don't want to wait another day, because if I can create this beauty around me, and it's like increase the possibilities and expand and be an expansive force for others, then of course I can't just sit here and hold myself back.
No, because
Suddenly it
then
will
that would be like very much egotistical or egoist. What do you say?
exactly.
Egotistical?
Yes, suddenly that
Ego-testical. Sorry,
yeah,
couldn't resist. No,
but
yeah.
exactly, like, so that could be, and I know that you shouldn't think like that, because one should be able to do things merely for
Yeah.
themselves, but I know that many struggle with it. So if it helps to kind of add it to your thought pattern that this
Yeah.
is not only for me, this is for everyone, then that can actually be very helpful.
Yeah, and I think deep down, all of us, we know within in our bodies that we are not separated from each other. We are one. We are one unit, and we are united. All of us,
Yeah.
all of the humans, all of the animals, and everything on this planet, everything in this universe, we are one. We are connected. So whatever you do with yourself, how you treat yourself, how you heal yourself, will have an impact
Yes.
on other people, on everything. So it's not like I'm just gonna sit here and feel treat myself really good, and everybody else can feel really bad. It's not like that. It's like, if I do this to myself, the energy that I can send out in this united field of energy, it's gonna change other people's lives, like people that I don't even know, probably.
Yes.
It's like a collective field of energy that we are all part of. And the only way you can like really change like the collective energies or do something great, I mean, like have a deep impact, is to do it on yourself first. Because like when you recognize the divinity you have within yourself, you can recognize it in others, and you can like yeah. And I think that I don't want to be like judgmental now, but I think that people that are not into like healing or haven't opened the box of spirituality or like personal development yet, at least in my life, they can see this work as something quite egotistical. Like, yeah, you just want to feel good yourself. You don't care about us. You're just doing things for yourself all the time. And that is so yeah, but that is like that is their projection of what they are feeling and seeing. And yeah, that is also like a challenge when you start to live like this and you meet with people or situations that doesn't have the same frequency or that doesn't understand what you are seeing, to keep on doing it anyway, even though you get like the arrows. To keep on doing it anyway, because deep down you know that this is also going to help them, even though they can't maybe see it now.
Exactly. I think it's so important to see those arrows are, like you said, it's a projection. It's like them saying, well, I have been taught that this is not okay. So I'm just gonna keep trying here to see, is that really correct? Does it hold my belief? So it has really nothing to do with like you or what you are doing. It's a completely internal process that is happening. Like, is this really possible? Is this really true? Because this conflicts with what I know and what I have been taught. And I think that the reaction also comes from a part of them that actually says, yes, this is true. And that is why it feels so intense. If it was something that they didn't care about because it wasn't relevant to them, then they wouldn't have the emotional reaction in the first place. But it is something that woke something in them and created a conflict. And the conflict is always about one and two sides.
Within them.
Yes.
Being like reflected as some kind of arrow.
Yes.
And
that is so important also to know for us. I think that most or many like you and I have started this work very like an internal healing journey, like in our homes, in our bodies, and then taking steps to actually moving out into the world.
With this new way of being. That is gonna create changes in people around you.
Yes.
And reactions.
Yes, so that is so important to know that those reactions are always internal and they are like not the truth.
No. And again, like, just keep yourself in the highest possible frequency, or the frequency that you feel good in. Just keep yourself there, no matter what happens around you, how people react, what they say, what they do. They cannot harm you if you don't allow them to. They cannot take away what you have been building on the inside. Or like, let me correct that word. It's not really building. It's actually more like dying, taking away things so that your true core can shine through. Like 30 years of putting on shit that aren't true. Like, this is how I'm gonna be, and this is the right way to live. The healing journey is so much about, taking away things so that what you have here inside can like shine, like be your truest version of yourself. That
Exactly.
It's not about building something because you already have it. You just gotta open up.
Yes. And that is why it can also never be taken away. It can never be, there is no lack of oneself. It's completely self-sourcing, regenerating, because it's, and this is the same with like being authentic. Like that is why being authentic, of course, it can be difficult because we're not used to it and we have to move through blocks. But once we do that, it is like a ray of light that will always be there, unless there are blocks hiding it. But the way we have done, or many of us have done up until now, is like creating some kind of artificial flame to show to the world. And we have to feed it constantly, because if we don't, it's not there.
No,
and
exactly.
it's not there because it's not us, it's not our essence. So of course we're exhausted and tired of trying to generate some kind of energy that is not here originally, but going back to the one that we do have, that is always there. That is like, that is something you can do for the rest of your life. That is completely self-sourcing. It's
exactly.
And it cannot be taken away or damaged or hurt. The essence in itself can never be that.
No, exactly. And I read a quote about like birth charts, going back to astrology now. But like your birth chart, or how the planets were arranged. What do you say? When you were born, it is not like this is who you are and this is your limits and this is it's actually like a map for your own liberation. It was something like that. Your birth chart or your natal chart is a map for your own liberation.
Yes.
Yeah, because you can then recognize like, I'm carrying this pattern maybe, but I also carry this, and this is something that wants to come out. So now that I know about, it is like a map, like here is a very, very rough road for you to take. This road will lead to like to use it as a tool and not like, okay, so that's who I am and I cannot be anything other than this.
Exactly. Exactly. It's meant to liberate. It's never meant to. It's like with also with, I think, human design and the other systems, like these systems that try to explain something should never be used as
a
this is the way
limitation.
things are.
No.
And like something that puts a lid on something or solidifies something, but rather how can this help us expand? And
exactly.
as you said, help us liberate. Like this is a path that you can take for your own liberation. These are like the clues. These are the elements that will exist. If you look into these elements in these areas of your life, that is a major clue that will lead you to somewhere where your soul wants to go. And it's we could talk about this for hours.
I know, but it's you and I have like really been diving quite deep, not as deep as you can, I think, into like human design and astrology, trying to understand ourselves a bit more, what we were born with. And I think every time you and I, like change something in our way of doing something or in our way of being that is more aligned with, like, let's say our human design, the strategy that are best for you or me, when we do that, like things just happen so like effortlessly or like resistance free. And also like something we've been talking a lot about is the North Node. And what happens when you start to live more like aligned with your North Node, like the synchronicities in the universe is it's hard to find words, but like the life life gets so much easier when you find these clues about yourself on how you can live your life to align with like your soul's path. Yeah. Okay, so I see that you have to go now.
Yes, I have to.
Time moves. Yeah, but this was so much fun, and this was like pre-eclipse.
Pre-eclipse.
Yeah.
Let's see if we
manage to do something during, or if we are.
And if we show up, you know, like what's it called? The dark circles under our eyes.
Yeah.
The hair is a little bit burned in the edges, like a little flame somewhere because we're
aged like 20 years.
Yeah.
It's okay. Everything is falling apart, but it's okay.
Just to surrender.
Yeah. I'm doing really good over here.
Yeah, completely surrendered, you know.
Yeah.
It's okay.
It's okay. But I think can you like set an intention like this eclipse season will bring me only the best, most pleasurable experiences or changes in the smoothest way possible, please. Oh, sorry. Yeah. It was your body reacting to that.
Yes, to that. It was a body. Yes.
Eclipse. Yeah.
Yes.
Exactly.
It was a live demonstration.
Yeah. If you want to know what an eclipse is.
Yes.
Oh my god. Yeah, but okay, so let's shut this down, shall we?
Yes, let's round this up and with beautiful eclipse wishes to everyone.
Yeah, and hope everyone is having a pleasurable Scorpio season.
Yes.
It can be dark, but it can also be very pleasurable.
It can be very pleasurable.
Yes. So choose that path.
Yeah, choose pleasure over
deep pleasure over deep traumatic experiences.
Yes. Yeah. Closing words from two wise women.
Yeah. Yeah. Just do what we say and you will be fine.
Yes.
Yeah. Look at us. I mean,
podcast.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Come with uninvited advice.
Yeah. Yeah, always. Yes. Free of charge.
Of course. Here to serve humanity.
Yes.
With unsolicited advice.
Yeah. Oh my god, they're here again.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, I'm gonna stop the recording now.
All right.
But see you whenever
on the other side.
Yeah. Bye.
Bye.